And good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You'll have two co-presenters today talking about how to be a successful student at Tech. So this is a variation of a presentation we give to our incoming students, but it is definitely geared to you guys here in our parents program. So to just start us off.
Good morning, everyone. Super impressed with where you all are coming from and joining us this morning or this afternoon. My name is Erica Chiviano, and I will talk briefly about a couple of different tutoring support resources that we have for students today, and do a little introduction in a second. So we want to talk a little bit about where we come from, where we live on the Georgia Tech campus. We are part of the Academic Success and Advising Unit on campus, which is an umbrella unit from the Office of Undergraduate Education. So academic success and advising really focuses on streamlining programs and student services for students that are looking for support on campus. We kind of have tutoring and academic support funneled in our office, academic coaching, which we'll talk to about those two specifically today, but also in our suite, we work collaboratively with our first generation initiatives, programs, retention and completion, and specialized advising. It's a little bit about ASA and some of the resources that we kind of provide as a unit. Again, I'm highlighting today resources for students specifically on tutoring and academic support and academic coaching, catering this conversation to how do we ensure that your students are successful at Georgia Tech. So we'll do some brief introductions. Like I said earlier, my name is Erica Chaviano, and I am the Assistant Director for Tutoring and Academic Support here on campus. Like Nicole mentioned, I'm originally from New York, so shout out to all the New York folks in the chat. I received my master's degree in 2016 from Buffalo State University, and I have been here at Georgia Tech going on 3 years.
And good morning, everyone, or good afternoon from Georgia. My name is Nicole Leonard. I am the Assistant Director for Advising and Coaching for what we are now known as Specialized Advising. I've been on Tech's campus for about 20 years, so it'll be 21 in November. I am a certified professional co-active coach, so I've been coaching professionally, quote unquote, for the last 7 years. And I am again glad you guys can join us today as we talk about academic success as it pertains to your student.
So we want to just start off really quickly by kind of the idea of encouraging students to recognize that asking for help is completely normal. It's expected at a university like Georgia Tech. And so we start with this, we end with this. We kind of want you all to help us from the very beginning, set and plant that seed into the minds of our students, that recognizing that we know that these are the smartest of the smart, the best of the best, and asking for help sometimes doesn't come easy for any student, but students coming to Georgia Tech sometimes have that mentality of just like, I don't need to ask for help, or asking for help diminishes a little bit of my success starting off. And so we start off by encouraging these conversations to happen very early on, and recognizing that our students who are actually seeking help, utilizing the resources that we have in place, tend to be the students that are the most academically successful. Nicole, I can't control a PowerPoint. Are you still controlling it? Okay. So we'll do tutoring and academic support. Our office is located in probably the busiest building on campus, where we see the most high traffic students. And we kind of have a centralized one-stop shop for tutoring and academic support initiatives on our campus. So your students' departments and they may have specialized tutoring options and other ways that students can be supported academically, working with their faculty, working with TAs, which we encourage all of those resources. Today, I'll be talking specifically about the main Office of Tutoring and Academic Support on campus, and making sure that we recognize that all tutoring on campus is completely free for students, and again, encouraging students to participate in academic support initiatives from the beginning, when they kind of get right when they arrive on campus. So we have a couple of different flavors, like I like to mention, for academic support initiatives for students, whether they are learners who would best be taught one-to-one. We have one-to-one tutoring options. We have a tutoring style that we like to kind of call embedded tutoring, where these tutors are embedded into the classes that students are in. So these students already earned an A in those courses. They're retaking the course, and now they are hosting study sessions outside of class to work with students in a group style study environment. So that's what we call embedded tutoring, which we can go over that a little bit more. And then we have drop-in tutoring. So these are our drop-in tutoring style resources catered to the student who hasn't made an appointment, kind of just got stuck and didn't really prepare to attend tutoring necessarily or seek out help originally, and then realized that there are these tutoring services available, kind of pops in and meets with either a tutor or a TA with no time constraints or expectations, and can kind of just work through problems and kind of understand concepts. So one thing I like to kind of mention here on this page is a couple of things that make our program a little bit unique. So our tutoring and academic support office currently has over 150 student staff that work for us in many different capacities. Tutors, again, the embedded tutor opportunities, and then we have our drop-in tutors. Big team, large staff. It is a paid position, and we have a peer tutoring model, right? So these are students that already have earned an A in the course that they're working with students on. They've already come highly recommended by faculty, and now they are serving in a tutoring capacity to help students become more familiar with content. So these are peer GT tutors who are getting paid to kind of help support our students in many different flavors of academic support. Any questions about any of those before we move on to anything specific from my area?
There's one question. How do students find this?
So that is a good question. So like Nicole mentioned in the very beginning, we spend a lot of time focusing on student outreach before they even arrive on campus, whether that be through facet, presentations, emails. I'm at every resource fair as students kind of pop on campus. I'm at every tabling initiative that they can see organizations and different departments on campus. As far as logistics go, they can literally go to tutoring.godtech.edu and find all this information online. We do work really closely with faculty and campus partners to make sure that this information is embedded into all of their experiences on campus. So we send this information to advisors to make sure that as students are being advised by their advisors, they're connecting them to our office in some capacity. Nicole does a great job in encouraging students to support tutoring and academics, or to participate in tutoring and academic support if they're visiting her during her coaching appointments. Students also have access to tutoring and academic support resources right on the landing page of their Canvas site, which is the site that we use for students to navigate all of their courses. So it shouldn't be an unfamiliar resource for students. I think the bigger issue that we have is students are just apprehensive about taking an initiative and kind of saying, I'm okay with accepting the help. And so again, like I mentioned in the beginning, this would go over a lot easier if we start now with the families kind of supporting the idea of taking advantage of the resources that are available to you on campus, and recognizing that, coming to a university like Georgia Tech, don't want to put any pressure, right? But there's already that underlying realization that Georgia Tech is a rigorous university, and our students are high achieving, but we recognize that some of them may come in and feel a little overwhelmed. And so we want to make sure that we have ways for them to feel supported and encouraged academically. So our newest initiative, NAC, this is our one-to-one tutoring platform that students can download right to their phone and connect with a tutor similar to an Uber style model. So this is kind of put a call out, hey, I'm taking this math class, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time. Is there anybody on campus who can help me walk through some of those concepts? Anybody on campus who can kind of help me, whether it be in person or online? So we're seeing a lot of students take advantage of this tutoring option. Again, it's an app that they download right to their phone. As of, I want to say yesterday, we've had already over 700 tutoring appointments just in the first couple of weeks of the semester. So students are really taking advantage of this experience, absolutely free. All of the services that we're going to be talking today about are completely free for GT students, and they'll log in using this, using their GT credentials to take advantage of a lot of these resources. Again, we're catering to our STEM courses here: math, physics, chem, CS. We're starting to see a lot of students take advantage of some of their specific major classes that are being supported on NAC, but we like to advertise NAC specifically for our 1,000, 2,000 level courses. Again, these are high demand classes. So this is an online tutoring app that we have partnered with, and students are really appreciating it. I'll end it with some highlights. So things to keep in mind, which we were talking a little bit about in the chat. So all of our services are completely free: online tutoring, in-person tutoring, drop-in tutoring, embedded tutoring. All of this is completely free. And we cater it to kind of have that model of personalized approach to meeting our students where they are. Some students prefer an online appointment. Some students prefer an in-person appointment. Data suggesting about 47% of students are still choosing to have online appointments, which I thought is pretty interesting, right? So these are students kind of being able to have an appointment from wherever they are in their dorm rooms, on campus, and meeting with our staff virtually. More than 50%, and I want to say it's a lot higher than 50%, more than 50% of freshmen schedules can receive some type of tutoring and academic support resource, take advantage of some resources through our office. So as a student builds their schedule, finalizes their schedule, and recognizes that out of those 5 and 6 classes that they're taking, I want to say anywhere between 2 and 3 of those courses, there's some type of academic support funneled through our office that they can take advantage of. So something for them to be mindful of. They shouldn't be navigating their first semester or their first year on campus with no academic support. Our entire job and purpose, and again, over that 150 student staff's goal is to kind of connect with your students and make sure they recognize the support that we have on campus for them. And then again, focusing on the idea of group style study sessions and tailoring the experience to academic support to the needs of our students. Some students work best one-to-one. Some students work best in a group style setting. Either way, we kind of cater to different student experiences and needs through our tutoring resources. And then the last thing, we do have a newly renovated tutoring center. And this is a picture of it here, completely empty, which right now it is not empty. It is extremely busy with students in there taking advantage of some of the tutors that we have placed. But this is a space on campus where students kind of pop in and have an allocated study space. Sometimes it gets a little busy on campus, hard to find a space to be able to focus, and reserving space is a little bit limited. Sometimes students kind of just pop into the tutoring center to kind of get in the zone and be around students who are also focusing on academics and studying. And so this is just a good space to encourage your students to recognize it's available to them on campus.
And does anyone have any other questions before we move on to academic coaching? All right, and again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so I may cough during my presentation, so please bear with me. So academic coaching on campus, or broadly, is a way to build transformational experiences for our students on campus. This also free resource provides students a way to work individually with a professional staff member to set any goals, any academic goals they may have, to really talk about what does it mean to learn on campus, and also to encourage them to be more communicative when it comes to their education and what they need to succeed. So for academic coaching and coaching in general, it is definitely a way for us to push students outside of their comfort zone, where they live and where they love to nestle into their potential zone. So we always tell students that you'll learn the most and learn the best once you push yourself outside of that comfort zone. So with academic coaching, we're all about going to your fullest potential. And then once you reach that, that's also now your comfort zone. So push a little bit further. For academic coaching, we focus on strengthening executive functioning skills. So planning, organization, task initiation, flexibility, metacognition. So metacognition is learning how to learn. So what does it mean to task? What does the task of learning mean? Time management. We tell students there are 168 hours in a week. How do you spend your 168 hours? It's really good for us to talk to them about now that you're freer and how you spend your time. What do you do with it? And perseverance. So getting to campus is just part one. What do they need to do to make sure they are motivated and they develop grit and persistence to stay here and not just survive at Tech, but also thrive here at Georgia Tech? Excuse me. And so for what we do for our students is we use something called the GROW model. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit too fast. So the process of it is that we meet with students in the beginning and we let them know what coaching is about. We always tell them coaching is a space for them to explore the things that may get in the way of their academics or something that they really want to work on in terms of how to enhance their academics. So we use a GROW model. So GROW means that GROW is for goals. So we talk about their goals. R is for reality. So what reality are they facing? O, we have different ways of telling them O. So O is for the options, their opportunities, but also their obstacles. So what is getting in the way, maybe of them and the options that they come up with, and also what may be some things that they may fall back into as they're trying to achieve their goals. And also will. We talk about will or you can say accountability when it comes to working on those goals for themselves. And it is a cycle. So we go through the intake, the challenges, assessing, setting goals, reflect, action plan, follow up. It is a clear cycle that we try to tell students this is like a experiment for you. So run the experiment the way that you need to run it, and then let's talk about it in coaching to see how you need to really tweak it to acclimate to what works best for you. And then coaching is definitely different than counseling and advising. For coaching, we tell students that they are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. There's nothing for us to fix. So we are just more here to encourage you. It is a short-term relationship that maybe only will last a semester or maybe even a month as a student works through some of their goals. With counseling, that is aimed at a clear, maybe the past that they're trying to work on. So something that in the past they need to maybe really reconcile to help them succeed. Advising is more for their major specific curriculum. So what do they need to do to finish a certain curriculum to graduate? And coaching is more about guiding the development of academic skills. So the students are in the driver's seat. We always tell them that we are not the expert of them. We are not the expert of them, so we cannot tell them what to do. So for coaching, we're not mentors. Again, we're not advisors and we're not counselors and we're not tutors. So there are other avenues for them to explore if they would like those particular things. But for coaching, it is definitely just a space for them to explore and really, really commit to the challenge and the commitment of change. And again, we're not mentors, we're not advisors, and we're not coaches, but we have a little swig of all of that. Ms. Chiviano was an academic coach for us a few semesters ago, so she also knows what it is like to coach. And that coaching is that one-on-one focus on the student that has a clear structure for them to be able to know what is it that they need to succeed and what is the most important thing that they are focused on. And again, for academic coaching, we meet students where they are. Again, we're not meant to fix them. There's nothing wrong with them. We're just there to help guide them through the whatever goal setting that they have for themselves. We act as a mirror, so we reflect what a student tells us. So what we do is something called active listening. So for level one listening is just maybe the regular, you're waiting to talk. Level two listening is that you hear what a person says, but you overlay maybe some of your things onto what they're saying to try to solve it. But level three listening is that we hear what they say and what they don't say. So we're really focused on the student and how they present themselves and answer the questions. And again, we're an active partner. We do not do the heavy lifting for them. We encourage them to do the lifting as on their own because we found with coaching, if you give them the solution and if it doesn't work, then they have another thing to say, well, it didn't work, so I don't know what to do. If they are given their own options and solutions, they're more they have more of a they have more of sorry, just cold medicine. They're more inclined to really do those things because they come up with it on their own. Sorry. And then again, successful students ask for help. And the two main things that we offer in academic success and advising is tutoring, our tutoring department, so academic success, and our academic coaching, which is really to help them be as successful as possible on their terms. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to raise your hand, excuse me, and come off mute, we can definitely answer those questions. This recording will be available elsewhere. We'll we'll give this recording to the parents program and they will post it wherever you guys can view it. So again, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat, or if you want to come off mute and ask those or raise your hand and ask, please do that.
I have a question. How do how do students set up an appointment for this academic coaching? Do they email this or are you going to send a link? Like my son
Yes.
has already said it's very complicated. He went to stamps. They're supposed to be getting back to him. They still haven't. It's been just I guess 5 days. So if you could help try and navigate how they get
Mhm.
in touch with this academic coaching, that would be helpful.
Yes, they make appointments via advisor link. So I'm going to just put advisor link. They know what that is. So we have no affiliation with stamps. So for that would be something else. And to look and see about coaching, they can go to advising.godtech.edu. And then there's a space that says academic coaching. And again, we're going through like a little reorg right now. So coaching may shift where it lives. But for now, if you go to advising.godtech.edu, then the students will be able to find the section on academic coaching. Is it coaching if the student is lagging behind or anyone can avail? So coaching is for anything. If they're lagging behind, if they want to be ahead, we always ask students to see academic coaches whenever they need to. Okay, thank you. All right, gotcha. So whenever they need to, so if they are lagging behind, please come see an academic coach. If they want to, again, make goals for themselves to make sure they stay ahead of themselves, they can also do that one. We always ask coaches, or I always ask students when I coach, if you can work a week or a week and a half ahead of yourself, please try to do that. Because if anything comes up, then that is a way for them to build that cushion for themselves. We have different tools online. I didn't want to put too much in this presentation, but we have a space called our semester at a glance. It's a full semester on one sheet of paper, and we tell students to have that bird's eye view of your semester. So for us, if week 8 is like really hellacious for you guys, we call it their hell week because they'll have tests or quizzes and projects. They need to know like week 5 now that they need to start preparing for week 8. A lot of students do rely on their Google calendars for their reminders and everything, but we always tell them you can become Google blind because you're so used to it. So using these tools where you actually write stuff down, you remember it a little longer, okay? And GT Tutors, this is the Instagram handle if you want to follow tutoring on Instagram. And I have a request to go back a few slides for, uh, let's see. Let me know if that's the slide you needed. And we have a hand up, so go ahead and please ask your question.
So, hi, thank you so much, Erica and Nicole. This was informative. I want to know, do you also do the coaching part for the job search, or is that all done through Career Center only?
Yeah, for careers, that is the Career Center. So there are career advisors and career counselors that help students with their career searches. We don't have career coaching per se, but we have career advisors that are generalists, or they could be by college. So our College of Design or Ivan Allen College or College of Sciences, they have their own specialized advising um, career advisors.
So there's someone else also asked. Thank you so much. Someone else also said that their student emailed and did not get a respond from tutoring center. How long should a student be waiting before they get a response from the tutoring center?
From Tutoring Center, I'll let Erica or something.
Students should get a response from me. Any email that's coming to the tutoring center inbox is typically sent directly to me. So I try to get back to them, at least within 48 hours of any questions they may have regarding tutoring. Our website is a great resource for them to navigate through if they're looking for specific questions on schedules, where can they find help for specific courses. Our website would be a great place to check if they're looking for anything specific that maybe isn't on our website. Again, that tutoring.godtech.edu, which we can put again in the chat, would be a great place to just connect with me for any personalized questions. But yeah, I encourage students to message me or to check out our website and try and navigate there first to see if the website can answer any of their questions about where to go for help.
Thank you.
So one is this session for freshman parents. This is for any parent who wants to know about academic success. So tutoring email again. Yes, I will go back to that slide for you guys.
I have one more question. How can parents involve in tutoring center?
How can parents get involved? I think the first step for us to kind of connect with families and parents when we have these conversations with families is to kind of encourage that asking for academic help and asking for help is normal. It's encouraged. It's something that we should be pushing our students to feel comfortable doing. We encourage families to just mention tutoring when things get hard for the student. For them, sometimes students kind of hear us give these presentations all over campus and they kind of just brush us off to the side thinking they may not need us right away. So we encourage families to just be a part of that conversation of helping your student, recognizing that asking for help is something that we encourage, connecting them to our office and our resources. And yeah, I think that's the best way I can say that we encourage families to stay connected to our office, is pushing and encouraging students to attend and participate in academic support.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right, if there are no other questions, we will leave it here. So they are adults that need to advocate for themselves. Yes, tutoring does help students become learners who self-advocate for themselves. And also in coaching, we also tell them they have to self-advocate. I always tell them that a closed mouth does not get fed. So if there's something that's wrong, please go to the people that they trust first, and then we will make sure they get the help that they definitely need. And I'm going to put in the chat the semester at a glance that I was talking about, that full semester in one sheet of paper, because it's never too late to fill it out. And I'll also share my screen again for those who are still on the call to see that. Let's see. And yes, and I'll share my screen just so everyone can see what it looks like. Let's see. And then let me know if you can see the semester at a glance, like with a thumbs up or yay, if you can. And again, this is fillable, the full semester on one sheet of paper. Let me see if I can make it bigger for y'all, just so you can see it. Oh, it looks really pixelated, but this is what it looks like. Again, they can type anything in here. It'll get smaller as they type, But this is, again, the full semester, one sheet of paper. We tell them put anything that's for a grade, birthdays, club meetings, if they need to call you every Sunday, please put this on there, okay? And we also have other time management tools up here, our monthly agenda, our weekly schedule, and this is in advising.godtech.edu resources. So you'll see some other things there. And then you'll see the little tab for coaching. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well. Excuse me. So our coaching team right now is 3. So we have 2 part-time coaches, and I am the coach that does more of the in-person appointments. I deal mostly with accountability. So I ask students how are they holding themselves accountable and how to develop accountability buddies or accountability partners. We have a Dr. Justine Schaefer. She has a STEM PhD in STEM learning. So she talks to students about the process of learning STEM classes. And then we have Ms. Liz Emerson, and she talks to students about balance. So balancing, using your time in a way that helps you balance between your academics and your other things that you want to achieve. And she tells them that balance isn't about 50-50. Some things could be 70-30, but it's like this focus needs to be on academics and how are you ensuring that your academics does not suffer as you try to experience everything.
Hi, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Could you please repeat the name of the coach for STEM? You said someone's name, no? For STEM side of things.
Dr. Justine Stafer.
Okay, thank you.
I'll type it in here. And everyone, that is our time for today.